like I've not seen Total Recall in ages, and I always remember the is it real? Is it a simulation? And this bit really kettled my head, because I know the film lands on it is real, but it also hints at, it just drops little nuggets of, is it though? And it was the bit where he first goes to what's the place called?
Recall.
Thank you. Yes, how could I forget? When he first goes to Recall.
That was always going to happen at some point in the podcast, wasn't it?
Well, I am very well known for making a tit of myself on these things, so let's be having you, as Delia Smith says. But it's the bit where he's going Recall and he's picking his plan, what he wants. He's like, I want to be a secret agent, and then he's picking his love interest, and it's a picture of what's her name? Melina. It's like, oh, brunette, like blah blah blah. He picks out character traits and all that. And I was thinking, are Recall in on it? Are they working for what's his name? Cohagen? Because like everything is, it is essentially a simulation that he's in. But I was sitting there last night going, it is real, but is it? And it's a proper. You can see the Matrix had a very strong liking to this film, but I was like, I always land on it is real, just to save me thinking about it. But the more and more I think, it's like it is a simulation, surely.
I mean, this is like dead interest, and I'm well into this. You know, Philip K. Dick obviously was the geezer who wrote it originally. We can remember it via Wholesale. And there's a point in Dick's career where he basically, I think he'd run out of, he hadn't been writing for a couple of years or something, and he went to this literature sort of exhibition, probably the literature equivalent of like a Comic-Con, and it was in France, and he gave this seminar where he basically outlined that we live in a matrix. It's on YouTube and stuff. It's if you're into that sort of thing, simulation theory and that, it's really interesting. And then he talks about how his own life, how he came to realize that, you know, he was in a simulation, and basically the multiverse, which you now know, which is now popularized in like obviously the Marvel films and everything, but that this was something that he was pushing in the 70s. And you know, he believed that we live in a multiverse and there's all these different tangent realities and stuff. And you know, he wrote a couple of books then, which I think Valis most famously is like the one where it delves into it. And there's one called The 7 Lives of Someone or Other, and you know, it's kind of touched on in all the works afterwards in terms of like Scanner Darkly and stuff, and you know, this idea of multiple personalities and everything. And you know, it's even there in Blade Runner in terms of, is he a replicant, isn't he, you know? And there's different questions and stuff posed and that. But with Total Recall, I don't think it explicitly, I think it's obvious thinking about it now that, like, for me, that it is not a dream.
Nah.
But there's nothing glaring statement that says that. But then there's little nuggets and stuff in there that, you know, the guy, like you're saying, when he's programming, it's like, they call it program blue sky, which is obviously the last shot of the film. And, you know, there's little things in there, little leading things, like you said, Melina's on the screen when the program and all that sort of stuff. And you know, there's little things that, like, the MacGuffins or stuff that challenges you to work it out. I mean,